wanted to speak a little French, right? But maybe you're not sure where to even start. Well, today, we're going to fix that. We are going to build your very first conversation in French, step by step, so you can walk away from this feeling ready to actually connect with someone. Let's jump right in.
Okay, so are you ready to give this a shot? Because honestly, by the end of this little explainer, you're going to have all the key phrases you need. We're not going to overcomplicate it, I promise. We're just sticking to the absolute basics to get you started and feeling confident. So let's get to it. All right, first up, breaking the ice. You know, how to say hello. Look, every single conversation, no matter how big or small, starts with that one simple word. It's kind of like the key that opens the door. And in French, there is one word you absolutely have to know.
And that magic word is bonjour. Seriously, this is your universal key. You can use it with absolutely anyone, anywhere, from the moment you wake up until, say, around dinner time. It's polite, it's friendly, and you literally can't go wrong with it. It's always the right choice to start things off. Pretty simple, right?
Okay, so you've said hello, you've broken the ice. What's next? Well, introductions, of course. Let's dive into how you can tell someone your name. So you basically have two main ways to do this, and you can just pick whichever one feels better to you. The first one is je m'appelle, and then you say your name, or you can go with the simpler je suis and your name, which just means I am. Honestly, both are perfect. No wrong answer here.
And here's a cool little language hack for you. The literal translation of je m'appelle is actually I call myself. You know, it's a little different from how we'd say it in English, right? But thinking about it that way, I call myself Alex, can really make the phrase stick in your brain. It just clicks a little better. See what I mean?
All right, next up, asking how are you? So you've said hello, you've said your name, now it's time to ask how the other person is doing. But, and this is a big but, in French, there's one really important thing you have to figure out first. And here it is. This is the crucial question. Who are you talking to? I know, it sounds simple, but before you ask how are you have to stop and think about that. Because the answer to that question completely changes the words you're about to use. This isn't just a grammar rule, by the way. It's a huge part of French culture.
Okay, so this all boils down to two little words, tu and vous. Think of tu as the informal, friendly you. You'd use it with friends, your family, people your age that you know well. Now, vous is the formal, polite you. You'll use this for strangers, anyone older than you, in a professional setting like a shop or an office. Oh, and also anytime you're talking to a group of people, even if they're your friends. And here's the golden rule. When in doubt, just use vous. It's always the safe, respectful choice.
So let's see this in action, right? If you're talking to a friend, you'd ask, comment vas-tu? But if you're talking to, say, a baker or your new boss, you'd use the formal, comment allez-vous? See how that works? It's the exact same question, just wrapped in a different level of politeness depending on who you're with.
But what if someone asks you? Well, you've got some great, easy responses ready to go. You can say, ça va, which is a simple, I'm doing okay, or pas mal, which means not bad. And then there's a personal favorite of mine, comme ci, comme ça. It literally means like this, like that, which is just such a perfect way of saying you're feeling kinda so-so.
Okay, our conversation is really starting to take shape. Now let's talk about what I like to call the magic words. You know, the phrases that add that extra layer of politeness and respect to pretty much any interaction. First up for please, your absolute go-to phrase is going to be s'il vous plaît. And hey, look, it uses vous, that formal you we just talked about. That's what makes this phrase so great. It's super versatile and always polite. Perfect for when you're ordering a croissant, asking for help, you name it. And check this out, because I just love this. The literal translation is if it pleases you. Isn't that just a wonderful way to think about it? It's so respectful and, well, charming. And honestly, remembering that little backstory makes the phrase so much easier to remember. Naturally, we have to talk about thank you and you're welcome. For thank you, a simple merci is perfect. If you want to add a little extra oomph, you can say merci beaucoup for thank you very much. And when someone thanks you, the classic reply is de rien. I love this one because it literally means it's nothing, kind of like saying, oh, it was no trouble at all. Okay, here's an easy one. If you need to get someone's attention or maybe you accidentally bump into someone, the phrase you need is excusez-moi. And the best part? Just listen to it. Excusez-moi. It sounds almost exactly like excuse me. This is one of those fantastic freebies that's super easy for us English speakers to remember.
And just like that, you've pretty much had your first conversation. You said hello, you introduced yourself, you were super polite. Awesome.
So how do you wrap things up and make a graceful exit? Let's go over the best ways to say goodbye. The classic, #1, can't go wrong way to say goodbye is au revoir. Think of it like the bonjour of goodbyes. It's the perfect all-purpose farewell. It works anytime, anywhere, with anyone. Formal, informal, doesn't matter. It's always a good choice.
And you guessed it, this one also has a really beautiful hidden meaning. Au revoir doesn't just mean goodbye. It literally translates to see you again. How great is that? It has this built-in feeling of hope that you'll meet again. It's not a final bye, it's more like an until we meet again.
But hey, you've got other options too, depending on the situation. There's salut, which is a casual bye, just for friends. Leaving a bakery in the morning, you can say bonne journée, which means have a good day. In the evening, that becomes bonsoir for good evening. If you know you'll see them again soon, you can say à bientôt. And if you mean you'll see them later today, you can be even more specific with à tout à l'heure.
And that's it. You have all the pieces, all the building blocks you need to go out and have your very first real conversation in French. You are absolutely ready. So I guess the only question left is, who's going to be the first person you say bonjour to?